Blog Talk Radio.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike,
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.
Blog Talk Radio.
Franchise interviews. From Easton, Pennsylvania to Sydney, Australia, you're listening to Franchise Interviews. Franchise Interviews. Welcome to Franchise Interviews. Franchise Interviews has been giving an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship. Listen to interviews with franchisers, franchisees, franchise authors, franchise experts, and attorneys. And now, welcome your host, Marty McDermott, and Franchise Interviews.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of Franchise Interviews, where for over 9 years we've been asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott. I'm the president of Franchise Interviews, and we have a great show today. We're meeting with John Ferdiandi, the founder of Blast Brew franchise opportunity. And Blast Brew offers guests a completely customizable experience, from its quick-fired Neapolitan pizzas, split Focaccia sandwiches, and the freshest salads, and a wide variety of signature appetizers, to its self-poured craft beer offerings. And we're going to talk to John about that in just a moment on Franchise Interviews. So stick around because we have a great show.
The Stone Coat Franchise Opportunity. Are you looking for a unique and lucrative franchise opportunity? If so, take a look at Stone Coat. With a patented process which creates a true stone finish on almost any wall or ceiling, Stone Coat is a true game-changing product in the multi-billion-dollar construction industry. Stone Coat is applied faster, cleaner, and cheaper than conventional quarried stone, which saves both time and money. With advantages in remodel and new construction of both residential and commercial projects, Stone Coat is a true crossover product. The Stone Coat franchise opportunity provides a low startup cost, low operating expenses, comprehensive training, ongoing support, and no royalty payments. For more information on the Stone Coat franchise opportunity, go to www.stonecoatfranchise.com. That's www.stonecoatfranchise.com, or call us at 972-380-2700. That's 972-380-2700.
Franchise Teacher.
Would you like to know how to franchise your concept or grow your franchise business?
Meet the experts at Franchise Teacher.
The goal of Franchise Teacher is to teach, coach, consult, and advise. The team of experts at Franchise Teacher will evaluate your business model and present you with a winning business strategy.
Franchise Teacher will help you decide whether or not your concept works and if it's franchisable. Franchise Teacher is proud to have over 30 years of experience in franchising as both franchisees and franchisors.
Franchise Teacher are developers of over a dozen franchise systems, which include brick and mortar as well as home-based concepts of nearly 3,000 combined franchise locations.
Whether you need to add more units or get more customers, Franchise Teacher can help. We will teach.
Franchise Teacher will help you learn our proven system.
Coach.
Franchise Teacher will help you provide a game plan to succeed.
Consult.
Franchise Teacher will make sure you stay on track.
And advise.
Franchise Teacher will help you learn from our over 30 years of experience in franchising as both franchisees and franchisors. Take advantage of our free, no-obligation phone consultation. Simply go to franchiseteacher.com or call us at 561-385-3032.
That's franchiseteacher.com, or call us at 561-385-3032.
Franchisers, are you looking to reach aspiring entrepreneurs looking to buy a franchise? Are you looking to reach a highly educated audience on franchising? For over 8 years, Franchise Interviews has been giving an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship through our website, franchiseinterviews.com, where you can hear and read interviews as well as get tips from some of the most successful sources in franchising. Our weekly franchise radio show where each week you get to hear a new interview with franchisers, franchisees, franchise authors, franchise experts, and attorneys, and our podcast, Great Quotes in Franchising. For more information, go to franchiseinterviews.com or call us at 610-905-2919. That's 610-905-2919.
Hi, this is Connie McDermott, Administrative Assistant for Franchise Interviews, LLC, and you are listening to Franchise Interviews.
Franchise Interviews. From Easton, Pennsylvania to Sydney, Australia, you're listening to Franchise Interviews. Franchise Interviews.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to a very special edition of Franchise Interviews, where for over 9 years we've been asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott. I'm the president of Franchise Interviews, and as we were saying earlier, we have a great show today. We're meeting with John Ferdiandi, the founder of Blast Brew Franchise Opportunity. And Blast Brew offers guests a completely customizable experience, from its quick-fired Neapolitan pizzas, split Focaccia sandwiches, the freshest salads, and a wide variety of signature appetizers, to its self-pour craft beer offerings. Hey, John, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome, John. It's great to have you on the show. Did I say Focaccia right? I was a little nervous because my Italian grandparents might. Okay, good. I was afraid, my grandparents are listening up in heaven and they say, oh, we're going to get you. But it's great to have you on the show, John. We also like to ask our guests where you're calling from this morning.
Fresno, California, our corporate headquarters.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. When I was looking at, your background and the whole history of, everything you're doing, I mean, you go back with pizza a long way, don't you? I think your family was involved in pizza was in the 1950s, John. Maybe we could kind of start there and, how, because I have a feeling that's how all of this came about, didn't it?
Well, my dad and his partner, who went to high school together, always wanted to do something, and
right.
They both were working with their fathers in unrelated business, and they saw an opportunity to become a franchisee of a regional pizza chain called Me and Ed's Pizza. And they went in together and bought the franchise here in Fresno, California, and they, over the years, continued to grow the brand to being one of the largest Me and Ed's franchisees. And then in the early 90s, they purchased the rights and became the franchisor, and that's when I got involved. I had background in finance and business finance, and they were looking to maybe take the company public or continue expanding, and that's where I stepped in, and we continue to grow the company today.
How did you come up with the concept of merging, the two together, John? Because it really is very clever. I think there's no better combination than Neapolitan pizza and beer. They just seem to, particularly craft beer. I mean, it just goes great together, doesn't it? I mean, how did you come up with the concept? Because I think it is original.
Well, it's pizza and beer have always been something that has gone great together, and we had entered the custom, build your own pizza category, along with Pyology, Blaze, and a bunch of other in the field. So we were looking for a way to differentiate ourselves even more, and we have a great Neapolitan pizza. It's hand stretched. We really feel it's a superior product. But we knew we needed to do something else, and a franchisee in the Central Coast area decided to explore adding beer, and they came across a self-pour venue down south and say, hey, this might be a good fit. So we said, well, that sounds like a great idea. We want to add beer. This might be a good way of doing it. So they were kind of the trailblazers on this, adding the self-pour to the concept, and that's how we kind of dialed into this Blast Brew. It was met with great success, and they're doing a great job out there.
This show is always, I knew this show was going to be tough because I'm on the East Coast, John, so it's like right before lunch, so I said it's going to be tough for me. I'm going to be thinking of pizza the whole time, but it's really fantastic. Yeah. So it sounds like, and the customers can also, I've noticed this trend starting to happen a little more, John, where, I guess you allow the customers to customize their own pizza. Is that how it works?
Exactly. So we're taking that customization to the next level, and our motto is, craft your pizza, craft your beer, craft your fun.
Wow,
so,
that's clever.
Or you craft your experience. And so you're able to go through a line to craft the pizza, the split focaccia sandwiches, great salads. We have over 40 toppings available. They're unique to the region, so we may custom fit one region with some other toppings that might not be in play at another region. And it's fast, it's a great value, and it's a great tasting. All the products are great tasting. They're made from scratch, and that freshness that's coming out, I think, is something that the customer is looking for. So the customer, today's customer, is very demanding. So we're giving them that customization, we're giving them that speed, and we're giving them that price value. And then on the beer side, we complement the beer with with this array of kind of gastropub appetizers that really complement the different types of beer we have. So we have a beer wall of over 40 taps, and we have a beer genius out there that can communicate with the customers and kind of talk to them about beer and kind of do that beer education and even lend suggestions to what beer goes good with what types of pizza toppings, is it sweet, spicy, and what have you. So we have this whole experience going on, and I think what it lends itself to is as people are exploring and creating and finding new things, both from a pizza combination to a new beer that they've never tried. They're sharing that experience with everyone. So you get this really cool social buzz happening in the store. And, what's nice about the self-pour is that I can try this beer, pour a little bit, and go to the next one if that didn't fit my, taste profile for that evening. So that whole experience of all these new tastes and toppings and tastes in beer it's just a really, really neat treat, and it's this kind of fast casual, or as we kind of coined the phrase, casual, where it's still counter service, but we give it a more casual, but a more refined experience.
That's fantastic. I can't wait till you guys come to Easton, Pennsylvania. When I was studying, the whole business model, I said, man, this is it. I can't wait till they come to this part of the country. Speaking of with the majority of our listeners, we call them aspiring franchisepreneurs, John. They want to get into franchising. What types of characteristics will you be looking for in your franchisees? I mean, do they have to have restaurant experience? And what do you look for?
Well, we're looking for multi-concept operators, people that already have experience. But if you don't have that experience and are trying to get into the business, the restaurant business is very, very competitive, and you want to try to avoid buying yourself a job. So you really need to have an experienced operator understanding how to take a top sales dollar and bring it to the bottom line. And that's through, really good, strong back of the house management. And that's something we have perfected over the years. Even though this is a new brand we come out with, it's backed by over 55 years of experience on how to be as efficient as possible within the restaurant. So as we concentrate on front of the house sales and trying to make that experience great and consistent every time, you got to make sure you can bring it down to to the bank to a profitable conclusion. So we're looking for people who understand that, who have that passion. We're looking for multi-concept operators who want to add something to their portfolio. I think as an entrepreneur, Milano offers other brands too that they could place in their market once they establish themselves. So I think with that, but getting back to the question of entrepreneurship and your entrepreneurs in the audience, it's very important to be analytical when you approach the restaurant business. It's great to have that food passion.
Sure.
But you really need to be analytical to understand that, what you need to accomplish, what are your fixed costs and variable costs and how that affects it. And of course, in the restaurant business, it's a changing dynamic environment with new laws and regulations always coming out that put more onerous onto the owner.
Which is something you had, you had that background, and it sounds like that's exactly what you did is, you combined all your, your financial background and, all your pizza experience, to come up with Blast Brew as far as where it is today, and I imagine your family must be very proud, as far as the, where this concept has evolved today, aren't they? Yeah, I think, it's a collaboration. A lot of people are involved in bringing the concepts out. So it's we're a corporation with family values. So we have a very corporate environment, corporate structure, but we do have this family culture that is supportive and we try our best. That's great. That's so important. What's the training like, John? I mean, once you decide, that you do like a particular franchise candidate and they like you and they want to come aboard as a franchisee, I mean, do they come out to the West Coast? Is that how it works? Well, it's important to, see a concept and to really understand that. In the past, there'd be discovery days where they come to the corporate office and we give this big show, but that's really becoming less and less utilized function. It's important for the potential owner to live and breathe and see what's happening at the store level, and it's also important trying to find that great real estate. So we start with one as a candidate financially capable of handling this type of risk, and two, are they make sure they understand what they're getting into, and then three, looking at what they want to do, where they want to build out, and then we start looking at the leases, and then keep going from there. The beauty about Blast Brew is that we can get the products across the country. We're not we create the concept so it can't travel. That distribution lines are there to fulfill the necessary inventory items needed to execute the concept. What do you look for in a location, John, and how much space is actually required to open up a Blast Brew? Well, we've gone down to 1,800 square feet, but preferably we want to be around 3,000 square feet. It gives us the ability to put in the bigger beer walls and to create a better seating environment. So we're looking around 3,000 feet, and we want to have both day and night parts. So we're looking for a good mix of office and residential, as well as being near some larger university or tourist type areas to kind of expose the brand to people coming in and out of the area. That will even encourage more growth in other areas. That's fantastic. The majority of our listeners I was mentioning, John, are, we call them aspiring entrepreneurs. I mean, most of them have it in their mind that they want to get into franchising. But, in doing the show such a long time now, we find that a lot of them are confused because there's just, there's so much out there today. There's like 2,500 plus concepts, and like 80 different industries. So a lot of our listeners, they don't even know where to begin. So, I mean, from everything you've known, all your experience up to this point, what advice would you give to our listeners in their quest to buy a franchise? Well, I think you got to have a passion of what you want to do. I think franchising is a great start for an entrepreneur because all the bells and whistles are built in, so they're already getting a head start there. All the learning curves of our past 50 years, for example, are built into our
processes and procedures with our brands for franchisors. So I think they have to, one, find a concept that they have some passion for. Two, really understand who is supporting that concept. There's a lot of people that come out that may have one corporate store and all of a sudden they're franchising. We have over 60 corporate stores, and so we know what's going on.
Sure.
And so when you have a franchisor who has a lot of corporate-owned stores, then they can be a lot more help. They understand your different prime cost scenarios and where you probably need to, where you're doing well and what's not doing well, because there's all these other stores that can be compared to. And so I think it's important for entrepreneur to make sure they're partnering up with the right franchisor who has that depth of experience, who has a well-tuned franchise concept. And then the next piece is, looking for that niche where you're not fighting all the competitors. A lot of people see this co-tenancy as a great opportunity. Oh, everyone's there, so I should be there. But you're just splitting a smaller and smaller piece of the pie. And so sometimes you don't get caught up into what everyone else is doing, but what makes the most pragmatic sense for this concept? Where is that need? Where is the restaurant saturation the lightest, that there's a true need for another restaurant in the area?
That's great. As the founder of the company, John, I can ask you the next question. I mean, so, where do you see the company? I mean, what are the immediate growth plans and development plans?
Well, we're looking to develop the Texas market, especially Dallas, Fort Worth area, Austin, San Antonio, Arizona, Tucson and the old Metroplex out there, and then and Phoenix, and then Southern California, almost all parts of California. But those are our primary focuses right now.
That's fantastic. What's the best way for our listeners to get more information on Blast & Brew as a franchise concept, John? Should they go to the website? Is that the best place to go to?
Yeah, that's definitely the best place to go, www.blastandbrew.com. And they can go into Milano, the company that brands Blast & Brew, and learn about us and our operation, our other brands, and also dig into Blast & Brew. Our Chief Development Officer, Mike Reynolds, will be there to receive your application and interest and start a conversation. We use software that tracks the franchisee all the way from their initial contact with us through a store opening. So you definitely won't get lost in any system, and it's a very logical and path to becoming a franchisee for us.
That's fantastic. I'm really glad I finally got to have you on the show, John. I've been following your concept for a little while now, so, to get the chance to finally get to speak to you, because I do love the concept, and, again, try to get to the East Coast as fast as you can, because I think you'll be a huge hit here as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So it was great
I hope to do that.
It was great to have you on the show, John, and we'll be right back with more franchise interviews.
Are you looking for a franchise that delivers? Businesses will always need shipping, and for more than 25 years, loyal customers have depended on Unishippers for reliable savings and exceptional customer service. Unishippers is focused on just one thing: helping small and medium-sized businesses save time and money on all their shipping needs. And as the largest reseller of complete shipping services in the country, we have the buying power to ensure that we succeed. The Unishippers franchise offers low startup costs, no equipment or real estate required because they're not retail, residual income, and a quality of life and work-life balance. For more information on becoming a Unishippers franchisee, go to www.unishippers.com and click Franchise Opportunities, or call Franchise Development at 801-708-5822. That's 801-708-5822. The Stone Coat Franchise Opportunity. Are you looking for a unique and lucrative franchise opportunity? If so, Take a look at Stone Coat. With a patented process which creates a true stone finish on almost any wall or ceiling, Stone Coat is a true game-changing product in the multi-billion-dollar construction industry. Stone Coat is applied faster, cleaner, and cheaper than conventional quarried stone, which saves both time and money. With advantages in remodel and new construction of both residential and commercial projects, Stone Coat is a true crossover product. The Stone Coat franchise opportunity provides a low startup cost, low operating expenses, comprehensive training, ongoing support, and no royalty payments. For more information on the Stone Coat franchise opportunity, go to www.stonecoatfranchise.com. That's www.stonecoatfranchise.com or call us at 972-380-2700. That's 972-380-2700.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Great Quotes in Franchising, where each podcast you get to hear a great quote in franchising. You know, we've been hosting franchise interviews now over 6 years and over 300 shows, and during that time we've had some incredible quotes on the show. Today you're going to get to hear from Ellen Dunn, who is a franchisee to the Wild Birds Unlimited franchise system. And frequently on the show we'll ask our guests, why franchising? Why did you go into franchising? And I thought Ellen's answer was really unique out of all the guests we've had in 6 years. She spoke about the importance of having relationships, and she even thinks of the franchisor and her fellow franchisees as friends. So I thought that was very clever. She also took an assessment of what maybe her possible weaknesses were and her strengths, and she says that the franchise can help her with things like advertising or marketing, which wasn't really in her background. So we're going to play that clip for you right now and enjoy this edition of Great Quotes in Franchising from Franchise Interviews. Here we go.
I left me and started my own business. I always had a corporation behind me, right. And I knew that I needed someone that could offer me all the things that I didn't get from the corporate world. And after interviewing several other franchisees, I knew that WBU was where I was going to get all the things as a small business owner that from the corporate world that I couldn't get on my own, such as the HR and the marketing.
Right. So you were sold, or you were convinced on franchising right away, Ellen. You kind of knew that you wanted to be an entrepreneur, but franchising was probably the best alternative for your situation.
Correct, because I didn't have all the expertise for mainly the marketing, the advertising.
Sure.
Because I always, as I said, I always had a corporation behind me at my other jobs, so I didn't know how to go about doing all those things on my own. And a franchise is the best way to get those items.
That's fantastic.
Did you know the category?
Really well. Did you know the category was going to be retail, Ellen? I mean, there's 80. I think there's 80 different industries. A Wild Birds Unlimited franchisee.
Well, that was one of the things I was nervous the most about going out on my own was missing relationship building because again, coming from very large corporations, I was worried about not having friends.
Sure.
I must say,
that's interesting.
I have tons of friends. All the different store owners, building the relationships with all the store owners here in New England and across the United States. I just have lots of relationships, and the relationships at the Franchise Support Center. I can pick up the phone at any time and call any number of people to talk to and bounce off crazy ideas that I might be coming up with, and they'll either laugh with me or think that it's a great idea or tell me I'm out of my mind. And it's just been a wonderful support group. And there are people to talk to when you need those different supports, whether it's crisis management or whether it's just somebody to talk to. There's always somebody around that you can talk to or go out and spend an evening with. There's always somebody there to do that. And I really didn't think I was going to have that support group anymore.
It sounds like it's the culture too at Wild Birds Unlimited that you enjoy too, Ellen. And listening to, I've never, in the 6 years of doing that show, I like how you mentioned, use the word friends, which I think is very powerful. The relationship with franchisees and also the relationship with the franchisor. I think that's very powerful what you said. So I think that's fantastic, and it sounds like, as you said, there's always someone to talk to, and you wouldn't get that if you did this on your own, would you? If you called it, Ellen's Birds Unlimited, I guess it would be a lot more lonely experience.
Right. Yeah, so and they are my friends. I mean, Paul is right up there, and I'm just not saying that. Paul's up there, and I mean, any number of them. I mean, I look at them all as my friends, and whenever I think of coming to the end of this relationship at some point, to me it's going to be incredibly sad because they're all my friends, and I value all their friendship, and I value their knowledge. They have great ideas. I don't always agree with their ideas, and I don't. And they always go along with that, and they accept when you don't agree with them. I don't know. They don't always like it, but and they always accept the criticism. And I think sometimes they let you go away on your own, and whether it works or whether it doesn't work, that's accepted, which is good to know.
Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you again soon with another edition of Great Quotes in Franchising from Franchise Interviews. Take care, everyone.